Welcome to the Mellow Fella Crypto channel. I'm the Mellow Fella, back to share my adventures in crypto with you. Be aware this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Also, it's cold in these crypto streets, so always do your own research, invest no more than what you are willing to lose, protect your things, and make sure you're taking some profits along the way. Before we get started with today's topic, I want to cover my CORKS and Crypto Mellow Fella live series. We had our first one on last night. I did have a user error at the beginning, did not hit the live button, but was able to correct that thanks to the folks in the audience in the comments section letting me know. But we are going to continue this every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central and would love to have you. And thanks to those that joined. But getting into today's topic, I want to talk about an article that I read this morning from the Wall Street Journal. And the title of that article is Regional Bank Chaos Clouds Outlook for Markets. So we already know, there's a lot of things going on in the overall investment market. And I want to talk through, how this aligns to cryptocurrency and how this aligns to Vulcan in particular. But a few snippets from the article, comments that the consumer price index, CPI, rose by 6% in February. From a year ago. So inflation is still a thing. I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. Also, I believe the Fed is discussing raising interest rates even further. However, the U.S. economy did add 311,000 jobs in February. That was more than was expected, but still down from January's 517,000. So, we're seeing all these issues with, I won't say all these issues, but there are some issues in the banking sector, Silvergate Bank most recently, and it appears that regional banks now are starting to kind of feel the pinch. And, people are scrambling. They're trying to figure out where they can place their investment dollars to either hedge or put themselves in a position to increase what they have. They don't want to take losses. Which, none of us are interested in any losses. But one thing that caught my attention in this article is that, I'll highlight this can't really highlight that, but as investors remain on alert for signs of contagion, strategists at JP Chase & Co. warned Monday that bond market losses might cause stress in other asset classes, such as commercial real estate, private equity, and venture capital. So things are starting to kind of have an impact beyond banking. This situation could expand, as you can see here, according to JP Chase, into other investment areas. So there's one comment. Well, before I get into that, let's talk about this, the U.S. 2-year Treasury note trend. So according to this article as well, the yield on the 2-year Treasury note notched the sharpest 3-day decline since 1987 as of Monday. So we could see here, things were kind of trending in the, between a little above 4%, and it kind of increased a little above 5%, and then sharp trend down to a little less than 4%, but ticking its way back up. So this is kind of an indication of the sentiment that the overall market is having as it relates to our current financial situation in the U.S. at least. So one thing that caught my attention in this article, though, as it relates to this, is I'll read this last paragraph. The KBW Bank Index has fallen 19% in the past week, even after Tuesday's rally. Wall Street's fear gauge, the SIBO volatility index, I think that's the Chicago Board Options Exchange, volatility index, reached its highest levels in months on Monday. Put options volume across all stocks and exchange traded funds hit the highest level on record Friday. And according to the CBOE Global Markets data, Bitcoin prices have surged. So this kind of tells me that investors are looking to get out of non-traditional investment vehicles, and they're putting their money into crypto. Some are putting their money into cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in particular. But how does this relate to Vulcan? And, there's a couple of things that I'm working on in my day job, right? So I'm on my lunch break, by the way. So I read this article, and I've been given an assignment that I was looking at, and it's really looking to simplify something that is relatively complicated to explain based on some operations that we are involved in. And it got me to thinking about cryptocurrency and Vulcan in particular, and how to communicate the power of Vulcan to those that are, one, not necessarily currently investors in cryptocurrency, two, those that are familiar with cryptocurrency and they may have Bitcoin or they may have some Ethereum, but they're really not crypto savvy, right? So they know of the benefits of holding a Bitcoin, but they really aren't into the crypto markets like some of us are, like myself and others that do videos and things of that nature. So how do you explain something that is as profound as Vulcan to someone that is not as crypto savvy or not even in crypto at all? So I got to thinking, all right, so here's a, going back to this chart that's in this article. All right, so there are some investors that are okay with investing in a 2-year treasury note at a rate roughly or about between 4 to 5% a year, where they could take some of that and invest in Vulcan at a rate of 44% a year, just holding. They don't have to do the fixed flex. They don't have to get involved in all those more complicated. Yeah, and I don't even say this complicated. I'm speaking from a novice perspective. Doing fixed flex, talking about flex pool, maybe over the heads of some like novice investors in crypto. So let's take that off the table. I'm thinking of taking that off the table, and let's just focus solely on the 44% APR in relation to this US 2-year treasury note. That might be a more compelling conversation to get, future adopters into the Vulcan blockchain, into the Vulcan coin, into the Vulcan ecosystem with other projects that will be on that blockchain. So we'd like to get your thoughts on that. It just kind of hit me at once. I haven't really thought it out too deeply, but I'm thinking that could be, just kind of talking through just the 44%, get them in the door. And then as they get an understanding of how the blockchain operates, especially if we get into a soft launch here soon, which hopefully will be the case, that would kind of open the door for some really good communication and education for novice investors in crypto and in Vulcan in particular. And I could just see nothing but goodness that comes from that. But we'd like to get the community's opinion on it. We may even talk about it a little bit on CORKS and Crypto on next Tuesday. But this is all I have for today. Thank you all for joining. And until next time, Mella Fella is out.